Alright, so something I'm wanting to go over because for the past few years on body cam videos, that's all over the internet and on YouTube and stuff. So, for a lot of people that escalate their circumstances to an arrest, they're refusing to comply with this excuse of, I don't feel safe. So there's some things I want to talk about in that because, I mean, this is absolutely something that's concerning for someone who has been victimized by law enforcement on a traffic stop. Shit like this is a real thing. But a lot of people who are wrong damn well know they're wrong, who throws this up, I don't feel safe, acting like they're a goddamn victim when they're not. So I'm going to go ahead and put this out there for people that uses this lame excuse, I don't feel safe. Law enforcement is there to delegate consequences, not to accommodate your feelings. And also, that excuse is often interpreted as, I just want to be dismissed for my own accountability. So, now, what I'm wanting to go over on this is, if you really don't feel safe, run a recording device. Your phone, dash cam. I have a dash cam with Wi-Fi that I have in the truck. It's connected to that, and everything that's recorded is cloud streamed. So if there ever is that chance of me getting stopped by a corrupt officer that wants to try to make up shit, plant something on me, he's recorded and has no ability to delete the videos of himself. Now, another thing, if you really don't feel safe, if you want someone to come out to the scene, this is something to be careful about. If someone comes out to the scene, they need to remain at a safe distance without interfering with that traffic stop or that scene. There can be some things concerning with that, like if it's wherever you're pulled over at, if there is not enough shoulder to have more vehicles pulled over, stuff like that. And then also there is a concern for the officer safety for people standing by as witness. So there are some things that can make that to where that can't happen. Another thing you can do is request the officer to have a supervisor sent or someone else come out from that squad. Now, you can request this, but unless there is something in the state laws or in that department's policies, they do not have to honor that. But you can request it if it's something you're really concerned about. You can request it, but don't be pissed off whenever they deny it. Another thing you can do is have someone listen in through your phone or through FaceTime. Now with that one, you need to make sure that that's actually what that is. Someone listening in. Now, if it's like some kind of sovereign guru, you're screwed. Because yeah, they're going to give you advice. It's going to escalate that to an arrest. So having someone listen in through a phone call or through FaceTime, that needs to be what it is. Just listening in, not interfering with it, because that cop can make you hang up your phone. It can lead to, depending on how you deal with that, depends on the outcome of that. Now, another one, and this is something to be very careful of and really do not misinterpret, is using 911 dispatch as you're seeking a safe place to stop. Now, this is something really got to be careful in how you conduct this, because there are many departments that will work with someone who has that irrational fear. Call 911 dispatch as the officer activates his lights. Get some kind of coordination set up with the dispatch and that officer, so that that officer is aware of what's going on, knows that you're going to you don't feel safe on pulling off on the shoulder of a dark road where there's nobody, and you'd rather go to the next available place that is safe, that has lighting, witnesses, etc., whatever. But this can also lead to being charged for misuse of 911 or failure to yield to emergency lights. But if this is something that you really are concerned with, those charges can be dropped. But this has to be really your irrational fear and everyone believing that that is something you're truly concerned about. Now, or like another thing too, if you have doubts that it really is a cop that's activated strobe lights, like let's say if it's just white lights that are flickering back and forth across the grill of the vehicle, I would be questioning if that was really a cop too, and I would get with 911 dispatch to get confirmation about that. But I'm going to elaborate more on that here in a moment. Well, actually, no, I'll go ahead and elaborate on it as I'm about to go into this about the misuse of 911. Now, when you're inside of that traffic stop, you have multiple cops all around your car. Do not call 911 when you're in the middle of that traffic stop, because you will be charged for misuse of 911. And there ain't no way of getting that and getting out of that one without getting a good lawyer. Because through the videos that I see of people that gets charged for misuse of 911, it's just a fucking bitch that's unhappy that she's not getting her way, that just calls 911. I need another officer because this officer hurt my feelings. Yeah, you deserve to be charged for misuse of 911 if you're going to do it that way. Now, there are many like this. There's many misconceptions that have consequences on that people use the excuse of I don't feel safe. It's becoming more common now for people to just crack their windows as they're interacting with cops in a traffic stop. Now, here's that's fine. You can get away with that for the most part. But now, if there's an officer who really is struggling on hearing you, and he tells you to roll the window down where he can hear you and you don't, that can lead to being charged for obstruction and delaying. So it's becoming more common that people do that now, but keep in mind what that can lead to if that officer really is struggling to be able to hear you. Another common thing that I see how a lot of people get arrested for is when an officer requests for your documents, your license, registration, proof of insurance, permits for whatever you're hauling or whatever, you are obligated to provide all documents requested without delay. Now, any of this bullshit of, no, tell me why you stopped me first. Tell me why I'm being pulled over first before I do anything for you. No, only in California the cops are obligated to inform you why you're stopped before continuing with their traffic stop. As far as it goes for everywhere else, you fail to provide your documents requested, you can be charged for failure ID or concealing identity. And then you can also receive a citation for failure to provide insurance or registration. So whenever an officer requests for your documents, give it to him immediately. This bullshit of withholding what he's requesting until he answers your questions, it don't work that way. Also, along with the whole thing about rolling the window down, when you're ordered to get out of your car, get out of your car. I don't care how much you disagree with that cop on that. Get out of your car, because that will lead to charges for obstruction and delaying. And then also don't leave the traffic stop or continue driving to your destination after the emergency lights are activated, because that will lead to charges for fleeing and eluding. So once those lights are activated, you pull over immediately. Now, if you're really concerned, if it really is a cop, or if you have a fear of cops and want to go to a more populated area, coordinate with dispatch and work that out. But now know that once you stop, you're not free to leave until you receive all your documents back and your documents that the officer is going to give you for your court summons. Now, with this excuse of I don't feel safe, there's some logic that I'm going to point out in this about doing stupid shit. How safe that really is compared to doing what you should do. So, like refusing to exit your vehicle because you don't feel safe. Well, how safe are you going to feel when your windows are busted out and you're being dragged out of your car? Because once you escalate it to that point, there is no, I will get out, I'll put my hands behind my back. No. Once you escalate it to that, your windows are busted out and you're getting dragged out of your car, no, you're going to be slammed onto the ground. And 3 officers sitting on your spine while trying to lock the cuffs behind your back. It's safer to comply and get out of your car to begin with than to do it that way. Oh, and also, how safe will you feel when that pepper spray overwhelms the interior of your car? Don't you think it's a lot more safe to exit the vehicle and put your hands behind your back and follow through with being detained? Now, fleeing in your vehicle because you don't feel safe at that traffic stop. Well, how safe does everyone among the motoring public feel on you escalating that to a pursuit, or pedestrians in those crosswalks? And how safe are you going to feel when you get pitted into a ditch? Or if you're in a lifted pavement princess with a high center of gravity, you get pitted, and really good chance you're going to roll over if you're driving a lifted pickup or an SUV. How safe are you going to feel then? And then fleeing on foot because you don't feel safe. Now, if you flee on foot, how safe are you going to feel when that taser locks your muscles and all that forward momentum is going to make your face hit the asphalt? And how safe are you going to feel when that German Shepherd, which by the way can outrun humans, how safe are you going to feel when that German Shepherd sinks his teeth into your ass? So this is the reason why I say this "I don't feel safe" excuse has run itself dry, because the people that are making these claims escalate their circumstances to being more unsafe than to comply to begin with. In most cases, if they would have just complied, accept their ticket, if they disagree with it, fight it in court, they'd be able to go home that day instead of going to jail, sitting all weekend until they can see a judge for a bond. So that's all I got on that for now, or all that can come to my mind at the moment. So be safe out there, and don't drink the fish tank cleaner. Thanks.